Hello heroes, how are you doing? Today I have a special episode for you. I don't have only one guest, I have two friends. In here, Fuffy and Dae. Hello guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So before we start, introduce yourself and your content. Fuffy, you start.
Alright. Okay, so I'm Fuffy. I make content. There's no guarantee of what you'll get if you come to my channel except a good amount of TF2 stuff, although I like to try my own stuff. I've really been trying to work on improving my videos, and so I hope that if you do come to me, you enjoy it. I've just turned this into like self-promo now. Oops.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Speaking of
Dae's
which,
turn now.
yeah. Speaking of which, hello, I'm Dae. I have less than 200 subscribers, so I don't matter.
Hey, me too.
Anyways. But anyways, I pretty much just upload whatever I want. So if you're into mostly gameplay and commentaries on channels, then I have some good content as channel reviews, but I mostly just make jokes on my channel all the time.
Well, great, bringing laughter to the world.
Yay.
Alright, so, as to the listeners, these two people are from over the ocean from America. So I invite you here to speak a little bit about your net neutrality situation.
Yeah, that.
So first, let me say what I understand net neutrality is, and then you correct me or tell in more detail.
Okay, yeah.
So in my understand, what I understand is net neutrality was a law for internet to be the same as water and electricity. So basically the provider just gives it to you at such a speed, of course, and then doesn't ask questions for what you use it and how you use it. Am I correct?
Sort of, but it wasn't exactly.
Yeah.
It was an idea of regulation from the FCC, where what they did was they basically changed it to be under, I believe it's Title II, which means that they can regulate it as if it were something that were just a necessary, essential thing like water or electricity. And so it wasn't a specific law about the internet, but it was changing. It was a while back where they changed how they were able to make rules about it, but then recently they changed it back.
It was in 2015 or 14, I guess.
Yeah.
So Dae, what do you have to say about it?
I mean, pretty much said everything I was gonna say.
So now,
yeah.
when the most hated person on the internet, Ajit Pai, brought it back, what are you waiting for now? I know this also should go through Senate, or how is it?
Yeah, so it has to be.
That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the Senate to decide.
Yeah, and the courts, people are trying to basically sue the FCC for this decision.
New York and 15 other states have.
Yeah, my home state is, I believe, in with that whole.
Yeah, I think mine is as
thing.
Well.
Yeah, and just the idea is that hopefully they will just be able to prove in the court that this is wrong, which most people agree. But that's still, people might find they're gonna try to keep it there.
Yeah, because ISPs in America are not quite the best companies and people it could be for. Also, some of the states have only one ISP, so they can do whatever they want after abolishment of net neutrality and stuff.
Yeah, because they already have a monopoly over the area, and so all that you have to do is give them unlimited power and they're gonna use it, and what we're afraid of is they're gonna abuse it.
Yeah. So Dae, what do you have to add, if anything? What are your fears?
My fears? My fears are that that what I can do now will be limited, especially through online gaming and talking to friends, stuff like that. Yeah, social things and gaming things will be very restricted. That's my biggest fear.
I'm worried that I'm gonna there's gonna be a new game that comes out but that game is going to I'm going to have a lot higher ping when I play that than like something by a big company, just because the big company has paid the ISPs. And that's sort of what I would be afraid of, especially to relate to probably this gaming audience that would be listening.
Yeah, also like
Yeah.
the YouTube, I don't think like YouTube will pay. It's like very weird, but I don't think like YouTube will pay to these ISPs to deliver its service. Like it doesn't pay its creators, why should it pay like some other company? So,
Yeah, but they're probably going to, like most big companies will eventually be forced to if it becomes a regular thing. The hope is that it doesn't become a regular thing for a long time, but eventually one ISP is probably going to try it, and then they're going to make more money, and then everyone else is going to want more money, and it's going to spiral out of control.
yeah, also
My
like,
fear for YouTube, my fear for YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that, is that internet service providers, most big internet service providers also have the cable packaging, kind of like Comcast, and Comcast would probably have a little bit of a grudge against things like YouTube and Netflix for taking a bite out of their cake, and they might want to take it back.
And they just throttle the speeds of those other sites.
Yeah.
not probably, like they will. Also, about the streaming services, have you heard about the Disney stuff?
The like Disney buying Fox, was that what year?
Yeah, also, and like in next year, or like in 2019, they're also willing to do like their own streaming service, something like Netflix and Hulu and this kind of stuff.
I heard a little bit about that, where they've bought things like Fox, and I think they acquired Hulu.
Yeah, they bought.
Yeah, they acquired like the entertainment side of Fox, and so it'll be interesting for them to be a competitor in that whole market. But I'm just afraid that they're going to be so big that they're just going to come in and do the same things as other services. And they're not going to try and be better and improve the market. Like if a smaller company were to come in, they would have to be better. But Disney has all these assets that they can just have exclusive shows that force people to come to them.
Yeah, also after buying 20th Century Fox's stuff, they acquired like X-Men and like some other like names from the company.
Plus they're Disney. That name rings a bell instantly.
Yeah, but also like, for me it's kind of strange because like since childhood, like Disney is like cute cartoons, like maybe some drawing stuff, and now like them trying to be a like streaming service. I understand like the business decision kind of stuff, but like still like it's Disney. Like what will we be streaming, like 24 hours of Frozen?
Yeah, that's sort of the problem, but it'll be interesting because it's sort of Disney has changed, because once a company gets really big, they seem to focus less on their original goal of like what they wanted to do, like animation for Disney, and more on just where the profit is, which is in these newer streaming services. As we've seen, we talked about cable companies and how that whole idea and concept is sort of going away slowly. People less and less are paying for these and instead going to places like YouTube.
And also like because like different TV shows are available like on different platforms, like you must choose wisely which like subscription you buy, because like you can buy all the subscriptions, but like it will be quite expensive.
Yeah, the only problem then is that sort of if you can only buy all the subscriptions to get to it. I actually saw an interesting video. It was focused more on anime, but it was about how it was saying pirating anime actually helps, because when you pay for something like Crunchyroll, then there's also, I think, Amazon Anime Strike is another one. They don't improve their services or make them any better, but instead they just buy exclusive shows, and they use those to force you to only come to them, and it stifles innovation. which is sort of a problem with all these big companies. And I think that also goes back to net neutrality and the fact that they can basically, you can only be successful if you pay a lot of money nowadays.
Yeah, and it's like very against like small companies. Because like I want like, because like startups and this kind of like businesses are now like growing more and more, and like for them to get acknowledged, like they need a lot of like streaming for their website and this kind of stuff. So if the net neutrality like goes away, it will be like even more harder for them to get noticed. And just big companies might just find them somehow and just buy them straight away for quite cheap.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that Donald Trump would want, because of, not to say that I hate him, but he did say that he favors big companies more. So if this gets to,
he's a big
Senate,
businessman, which, you know, big companies are good for some things, like especially if you're looking to make money or get better. You're gonna have to be big to put a lot of money into new things. The only problem is, the only reason that a big company would put money into a new thing is if its old thing wasn't doing well. But they're sort of forcing us to use the old thing with like net neutrality. If they took that away, they could throttle the new things like YouTube and force us to do the old things like cable.
Cable doesn't want to go down without a fight. This could tie into the adpocalypse as well in some way, because that's another way that people are trying to stifle YouTube. It's pulling ads and putting YouTube into a bad light.
Yeah, but even if there weren't ads, YouTube would definitely still keep growing, especially now with the rise of Patreon. Luckily,
like Patreon, like just doing different kind of merch, like opening your own store, so like as many YouTubers do. Selling a chair for $400. PewDiePie. But also, like,
it's
like from what I know, like the monetization of the videos like gives on like what 25 to 50% of the income of like more or less big YouTubers. The rest is like sponsorship deals, their own merch, and Patreon.
Yeah, and that's probably going to keep going down as, you know, people sort of start using things like Patreon more and then stop caring if their videos just aren't monetized at all.
Oh yeah, about Patreon, like the recent flip-flop it did, if you know.
Was that like they changed their policy and then went right back?
Yeah, they said they wanted to change their like fee transaction policy, like something. It should like now it's like percentage for like each grade, like for each like money, and they wanted to do it like a flat fee or like 35%. So whether you pay $1 or like $35, you still pay like 35% for the transfer fee.
Yeah.
And they said it's because for like creators to get more.
Yeah, they basically made the fee go on to the people paying instead of the people receiving.
Yeah, that was one thing, and also like after people like calculated, like the main reason, like the second reason why like Patreon did this is because like it like Patreon consists like of $1 donations mostly, like at least like 75% of them are like, because like $1 is like it's a change, like here like it's better for my like favorite creator to use it than for me buying like bubblegum, like whatever.
Yeah.
And like when like people calculated that like this 35%, like even if someone like paid like once like $100, it was like the same as transaction fee for like tens of thousands of $1 transaction fees. So that was the main reason.
Yeah.
Because for Patreon it was like a bit expensive to transfer like through banks this $1 than transferring like a bigger amount of money.
Which, you know, it would be tough for them having to pay all of that, but at the same time, you don't want to put that on to the creators there, because then people are just going to move off of Patreon.
Yeah. And like one of the like big names at Patreon like now is like Philip DeFranco, from what I know, and like
Yeah.
he posts like a video about like the whole situation and stuff, and like where as soon as they announced that they are going to change this fee, and like he called them and like spoke with them and stuff, and like
Yeah.
he was then got to know that like a lot of creators like did the same. It was like this was like really not good, because like Patreon like didn't ask anyone like do you wish for this change, nor the like creators nor the patrons. So that's why like after a lot of creators told them like you know what, if you like stay this bill like this, you bring us this new fee, I'm going away, I will do something else. So that's why
and that's sort of the good thing, and I keep tying it back to things like net neutrality, but like net neutrality is basically just that way to go away. Like it guarantees that there are going to be other companies and services, if the net is neutral, that can do, you know, things like Patreon but better.
Yeah, also like if you know Accused Farms, he has a YouTube channel.
I don't think so.
He makes like Freeman's Mind, like which is like one of my most favorite like kind of series on gaming. So basically he played through Half-Life 1 and now plays through Half-Life 2, but like he commentates like the whole game like he is like Gordon Freeman and he is in the game. So and it's like very comedic and like very funny, and like he didn't set up the Patreon or anything, he just made his own website and is accepting donations there.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, Patreon's easier, but you always have more control when it's your own website.
Yeah, and like you don't like pay these different fees. So also going back to net neutrality, like without neutrality you won't be able to do this, because like the companies will
because then like I don't think that Patreon would do it. Patreon could basically just pay money and then have his own site almost shut down. But Patreon seems like, especially when they backed out of that decision that they made, because they realized that it was bad, they don't seem like the kind of company that would like pay money to the ISPs to throttle their opponents.
And like because of that, I wish YouTube was a little bit like Patreon. It's like,
YouTube's just too big.
No, it's not that like too big. For me, like the like recent trend of like social justice warriors and like accusations.
Wasn't that last year?
It's still growing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, everything's still there, but a lot of YouTube has moved on just because of how quick YouTube is. Like, it's crazy.
But also, like this started because of like them, like in a small amount, was like they were accusing many people of like many things, even though like maybe it's just a joke, like, and they couldn't get the joke, and they like told like YouTube, if you don't remove him, I'm gonna sue you or like something. Because
is that like the adpocalypse sort of stuff?
Yeah. Like,
or I think part of that goes back to the major big companies, like the cable companies and the ISPs, or not ISPs, but like big companies that basically YouTube is their competition, and so they put out hit pieces almost on YouTube.
Yeah, because like the biggest one was like by Wall Street Journal, like towards PewDiePie. It was like a very big thing because like
it was ridiculous to anyone who had like seen PewDiePie.
Yeah, like
and knew that he was just trying to be comedic.
Yeah, like because like YouTube is like a modern media, and like classic media, like the old like TV shows and like newspapers and stuff, like only like old people kind of like watch them or like read them.
Yeah, because like my family had like cable, but I don't never use it. Like even now I still just use it for the few shows that are only on cable and not online. And other than that, like I even go onto the TV and then go to the Twitch app that's on TV and watch live streams instead of watching cable.
I took the cable box out of my room because I never felt like there was a need for it anymore. We only really use the one in the living room,
Yeah.
and then the grand bedroom is only really used sometimes. We usually just use it for movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, also like in my room, like I hadn't had a TV for like what 10 years already or something. I was like, I really don't watch it. Like whatever I want to find, I can find on the internet to watch.
Yeah, like if I was given the choice between getting a big TV or a monitor or a nice monitor, I just have a nice monitor for my computer. I could watch Netflix on my computer if I wanted to.
Yeah, and if something can even upgrade your PC to watch like better content, like do better stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like TVs, like a good like big like 4K like smart TV or something costs up to $1,000.
Yeah.
So like I can build like a good PC with like a good monitor and peripherals for $1,000. So also going like a little bit back, like YouTube Rewind stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you
All
think
of
about
that
it?
stuff.
Oh boy.
Dae, let's start with you this time because like Fuffy took over the stage.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Because I got nothing to say. Yeah, what is it about?
It's like YouTube Rewind, I'm assuming.
Oh, it's boring now. Like I know people are getting mad because of how blatantly an advertisement is it, but it's just boring now. There's nothing to talk about it with it anymore. They don't show the
Yeah.
YouTubers for long enough, so there's no point. There's no point in talking about it anymore, in my opinion.
Like
Yeah,
they
the-
show the YouTubers they want for long enough, like KSI, the Paul brothers.
I'm surprised it was KSI. Isn't he like dropping diss tracks and doing, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and like 2017 was all about diss tracks. So
Yeah.
Have you tried to pay attention to who was in the videos? Like there was this one part where they just like swiped through a bunch of angles of people,
yeah.
and you couldn't even see their faces because they were so blurred.
Yeah.
Imagine having to sit out on the top of a building freezing, only to have your face be completely blurred. As
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Or like,
and you have been
Well, I
like on
think-
the filming stage for like couple of hours at least.
yeah. That's sort of the thing that would confuse me is if they're gonna do YouTube Rewind, and they're gonna try and make it that big, why do they only make it so short? I get that YouTube videos are supposed to be short and quick and fast, but like maybe they can make multiple YouTube Rewinds, like YouTube Gaming Rewind or something.
Because it's an advertisement. People don't want to sit there and watch it for so long or watch so many of them. They just want to look at it and be like, wow, that looks awesome, really bright,
Yeah,
really
all these
colorful, and then they
YouTubers
move on
sound
to their
great.
day.
Yeah, also like
It's
Fuffy, like regarding like your idea, like a lot of YouTubers said the same, but yeah, some
Yeah.
said like YouTube gaming, like YouTube IRL, like YouTube vlogging, YouTube this and YouTube that, but also like some others said like making like YouTube rewinds for countries or regions. So I think
Yeah,
that
that- I
would be
think-
better because like you can like because different like regions can have different culture and like doing different kind of YouTube rewinds for like that region, you would be able to
The only-
be pleasing like that local companies.
the only like genuinely good parts, well, relative to everything else, is the part with I think KSI, the Paul brothers, and the ends with the animation,
Yeah.
because they were actually given enough time. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who they are; they look presentable for a camera, so that's all right. But because they were on for long enough and they were shown for a decent amount of time, it actually made the moment all right, and the animation part was actually good.
Yeah, I really
And I
like
feel like
that.
that-
Yeah, I really like that they gave like possibility for animators this year. It's like for like many years they have been a little bit neglected. And,
Yeah, they've been like crazy popular, but
yeah, like they really have
little
their
bit.
own like following, if I can say so. Also, like, if you are into anime, are you?
Anime, yes.
So, yeah, there is this channel which I like really enjoy, like his live streams and like a couple of his videos and stuff. Retro Rhino. So basically, like, there was this anime called Bleach, and they like finished it, but the manga kept going on, and they like finished it like in favor of like some like Boruto and like continuing One Piece and this kind of different stuff. And so like he is now animating like the continuation of that, and for a very long time like he had problems because his content got demonetized or like didn't get recommended to different kind of places. And now when they like,
just tough.
yeah, like, but on the other side, like SFM animations, which are like really good. Like I think they get even more like views and like sauce to the world than like this like crazy like good doodle animations, like handmade animations.
Yeah.
I think people focus way too much on the beginning of a YouTuber's life, which is the beginning, which is trying to grow your channel and make it so that it can last for a while. And they don't really talk about keeping your foot in that door. So let's see here, like Pyro Joe, AC Ocarina Maker, that is the plan, or Anthony Fantano. Like all these people have been hit hard by this demonetization, and not just losing money, but losing the attention. And it's as if the people at the top are kicking their feet out of the door and trying to slam it.
Yeah, some of it though is that like Pyro Joe, I still sort of understand why he declined, just a little bit in the way of the way he uploaded, and I saw like he uploaded fashion stuff. And like it's good that he uploads what he wants, but at the same time views are going to go down, subs are going to go down, and that's sort of the reality of it.
Also, like,
which I wish that everyone could just have a lot of subscribers and stuff, but
yeah, but you don't have unlimited time to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Also, like the same thing, like that's why I really understand Musalk, even though like the TF2 community like isn't quite fond of him after he left and like went to Overwatch. Like firstly, they hated him because he went to Overwatch. Maybe if he went like to some other game, like, it wouldn't have been like such a big backlash. But he still like had many subscribers like go on with him, like such as me.
Yeah.
But I really understand because like you can do like this kind of content on like one game for so long. Like your viewers will get bored. Like
he did a really good job of branching out. His views have stayed really good.
I don't disrespect Musalk for moving at all. Even like at the peak of his hate, I didn't disrespect him because I totally got what he wanted to do. He wanted to do the content that he wanted to do.
I was kind of annoyed.
Especially if it gets in the views. Oh, okay. Especially if it gets in all the views. And also, remember that drama between Sin and Delphi and Sig Sev and all those people? And Musalk tried to dip his foot in it and he got blasted for it. Like, that kind of stuff really like pushes you away from the community.
Yeah, I was a little bit annoyed that he was still so successful because TF2 sort of built him up and he seemed to be ignoring it. But at the same time, just be happy for what you have of TF2. He obviously is good at what he does, and so he deserves to choose what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And if people don't want him to do that, they'll stop watching, but people haven't stopped watching.
Hey, like, some amount of subscribers like have unsubscribed from him after like he went to Overwatch. But I think like some of them like subscribed back because they still liked his like way he creates content, even though it's not the same game, but it's still like fun and like enjoyable.
Yeah, it's better when people that you like play multiple games, and if you can stay with someone even if they like play a different game, I think that means that they're doing something right and that they're really building an audience. Because if someone only comes to a channel for TF2, like I remember only coming to Pyro Joe for TF2 trading stuff, and when he started doing all this other weird stuff that sort of, he was obviously just sort of experimenting and trying stuff out, but I didn't really like it at all. I think I have a whole script written out just about some of the weird kind of dumb stuff that he did. But I just sort of stopped enjoying it and I left, and I realized that I didn't go to Pyro Joe for his personality. And that's the problem. You want to be somewhere for the personality. Like Muselk is so happy and bubbly and exciting, and he plays with his friends who are fun, and that kept me watching. I did eventually get tired of his content, but every once in a while I come back and check his videos, and one seems interesting, and I watch it and I go, "Oh yeah, that was good. I like that."
I honestly don't like Muselk's videos. They're too like childish for me. I just don't like this wacky, funny moments as much as I used to. And speaking of that, PewDiePie, I used to think like oh, this guy's boring. He doesn't do gaming anymore. But now, I think he's been able to bounce back and like make his personality likable. Because I think I'm subscribed to him again. Because I like his personality. I like what he does. I'm gonna subscribe for that.
Yeah, and
that's sort of the new thing, personality.
Yeah, but that's like what I really like enjoy like nowadays, because like in the early days of YouTube, like these game channels and these like different channels were just like doing like a walkthrough, like, and just commenting on literally like what is happening in the game or this kind of stuff. But now, like when the YouTubers like and creators acknowledge more that they have a community and they like need to communicate with them in one way or another and like represent them, it's like really good for both of them, because with some YouTubers you can kind of click in like, oh, he's kind of like me in this regards, so maybe I subscribe just because of this.
Yeah, like my name is James, and I found out that I really liked The Odd Ones Out, whose name was James. And then he liked math, and I'm like, oh hey, I like math, and all these things sort of clicked.
Yeah.
That I sort of realized that these personalities that I watch or listen to are slightly similar to me. And that's sort of been really interesting. But at the same time, I also find some personalities that I end up liking, but then I find out that they're the complete opposite of me, and it's a good learning experience, I think.
Also, like the Discord, like there have been like a lot of like this TeamSpeak style of like applications throughout the years, but like Discord is kind of like the best for, in my understanding, like in my opinion, because like you can like send out invites to like your subscribers, or like to everyone, and like and they can join quite easily, and like you can speak with them and communicate with them and like have a great time with them. But like from like the Discords I am in, it's kind of like that, but because like when like a YouTuber, like the owner of the Discord, like joins a voice chat, like everybody joins at the same time, and then it's like just a clusterfuck of voices.
Yeah, I was just in that. That's sort of why I was late to getting here. We were all playing MVM, me and 5 other people, and it was pretty chaotic. I still see 4 of them are in there actually in my server.
If I had to describe Discord, like just boil it down as much as I could, it's Skype, but gaming and community oriented, and I think that's what is really launching it. It's the community part. It's what brings people together. Because with Skype, it's usually just your friend group, or it's just close people. But with Discord, you can get complete strangers that can come to your server just because you make videos. They suddenly want to talk to you, and it just really pulls people together. And on top of that, Discord, even though it's unfunny sometimes, they really can connect with the people that they talk to, which is something that you really need.
Yeah, you might have come to a Discord channel like for the sake of YouTuber, but then you find out like try to speak with someone, and you click in with like a different subscriber of that channel, and like you like enjoy having time with him.
I mean, like, I used to be really active on this one social media that I sort of become annoyed at now for a multitude of reasons. And so what I did was I just had some friends from there that were on my Discord server. And then one day I just sort of, I realized it. I don't need to be active on there. Everyone who's like really my friend is on my Discord server. And I was just able to just stay in touch with people. It's an amazing way of staying in touch because it's, how can I put it? It's when you want to move on from something, it's really hard because you might not like the thing, but the people are always there. But Discord is a way to sort of gather friends from all areas and have them all together in one place and just meet new people, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Discord, yeah, I totally agree with that. Discord's like really easy to just gather people up. I've had multiple occasions where I hate like the owner, or I hate the drama, or hate anything about the server, and I just take the people that I like and I go. I friend them, I add them to a server, and I get out. And it's so easy to go into communities that you like with the people that you like, if you know what you're doing. It's really easy.
And that's what saved me almost from just quitting TF2. I would have quit TF2 without Discord.
Yeah.
Just because the simple reason that, like, I wouldn't have had any more fun. I really only have fun playing TF2 with other people nowadays. I mean, every once in a while I'll play on for some solo stuff, but I play it so much that I've gotten a little bit tired of it. And so just having Discord was a way to keep me in with TF2, but also for me to not feel an obligation. I could just come back to my server anytime and just say, hey guys, let's play and have some fun.
Yeah, and that's really good about it.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing that you can do with a Discord server, if anyone that listens to this is making a Discord server for themselves, give the people a reason to talk to each other. You want the community that your Discord server is in to want to interact, because my server is pretty much dead. It's no one wants to talk to each other. They all only have a connection to me and not to each other. But in a friend of mine's server, this friend of mine has like 4,000 subscribers. Their server, everyone mingles with each other. Everyone's just together, and there's so many in-jokes and stuff I can't even keep up with.
Yeah.
And that's just how, I think that's how you do it. That's you should do.
Yeah, and
The only problem with sort of getting into a community like that is that you're going to be out of the loop and you're not going to know any of the in-jokes. Like the TFCOLLABS, I don't have enough time, and sometimes I just look in general and I'm like, oh, it's being spammed again. Oh boy, I really want to mute this, but at the same time, I really like a lot about the server. And so you sort of, sometimes you have to commit. So I've been back and forth on TFCOLLABS, but recently I've been checking it out and playing with a lot more people from there.
Yeah, same for me. I am in, to tell the truth, in 26 Discord channels, so it's a bit hard to keep up with everything. But like in TFCOLLABS, like it's quite like funny, because like there might be like 3, 4, 5 days when like nothing happens, and then like one day, in like 1 hour, you get like 500,000 notifications or messages. Like, what happened here? That escalated quickly.
I wouldn't say that being inactive for a while is good, but there should be a steady stream of messages, because from TFCOLLABS I've seen at least a steady stream of messages from regulars. In other Discord servers, yeah, there'll be a pop or two, there'll be something that happens, but if you don't keep that train going, it doesn't really last long. That goes back into my point. You've got to get people to talk to each other.
Yeah, and about that point,
voice chat's the most important part.
Like what I really enjoy in some Discord servers, like which bring out the like communication between like people, is like one, like the arts department, where people can share their own like creations. Will it be like the SFM art and like posters, or some hand drawn stuff and this and that, because like you can like show it off and people will say, oh, it's very good, or like you can do like this better or something. Because like there will be always a
Yeah.
person who will tell you you can do it better this way. It's the internet. And the second
think-
one is like giving out like video ideas to the creators. Like a lot of channels have this one, like video ideas. Like when like someone posts like a video idea, someone else might post like, oh yeah, it's nice, but if you change like the order like this, it would be much better. And like the original poster says, but yeah, I get your point, but like, and like the conversation starts, and like I really enjoy that part.
Yeah, and that's sort of what Dae was talking about with the keeping people communicating. You got to have a reason. Like in mine, half the time people play because they all play the same video games, and half the time people talk because they're posting memes or art. And you sort of need a reason for your Discord server.
Yeah, but
And
to tell the truth, like
but the reason could be anything. Like it could be ridiculous, but it'll still probably work.
to tell the truth, like in all the channels where there are memes, I have the channel muted.
That's appropriate.
But
Every
like,
once in a while, you go and scroll through there, and
yeah,
Okay. Alright, so in my opinion, the most important thing that you can have is leniency. Because when you restrict people's ability to have a comedic output, like if you just make one channel for memes, and you tell them only post here, that's gonna limit the amount of people talking. Because
Yeah.
a direct thing that has happened is I'm not gonna name this other collaboration server, but this other one has a meme only channel, and then everywhere else you cannot make jokes or anything like that. It's all serious. It's all, you gotta help people. You gotta do all this stuff. That channel, that Discord server is almost dead. TFCOLLABS, on the other hand, we're like very lenient
Yeah.
on.
It's not-
It's very lenient.
and
And-
that's like
yeah, sorry,
very
but,
good. And yeah,
but
go on.
it's very lenient on what it wants to do, what it wants you to do. All we ask for is that you collaborate and collaborate every once in a while and just talk. And because of that, people have come back time and time again, and it's just always lived, even through the
Yeah.
roughest of times.
And
the
that's
only
why I really like understand like if the like meme or a joke is like appropriate in like any of the channel, like just post it there. But like this memes channel
Yeah.
should be like for memes that are like just, oh, I just remembered some meme from somewhere.
Yeah, if the meme is what you're using to initiate the conversation, put it in memes. But if you're in the middle of talking with someone and you have a really funny meme that relates to that, then throw it in there.
Yeah. 'Cause why not?
One thing I guess that's not perfect about TFCOLLABS, it's my own thing. Everyone has their own opinions, but it still seems a little bit restricted with the promotion.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
really
I
understand that.
like the idea because it's going to keep people from just joining in, putting a bunch of videos in there, and then leaving. But at the same time, it almost feels like the promotion is just like a bunch of people who are friends, and then outsiders don't really have incentive to come into the group.
see, my opinion of that is I agree with you mostly. Like I kind of agree with you. That's why we've like been back and forth on this forever. But we've decided that promotion should be for regulars because it's called TFCOLLABS. You're only the real incentive is supposed to be you find creators that want to collaborate and you collaborate with them, and that was supposed to be the original goal. And
Okay.
promotion's more of an afterthought.
Okay. I just don't even know why there is a promotion. I guess it just sort of seems to be hanging like in my face like, oh hey, look at all these people, they get to boost their views because they're admins on the server.
Yeah, I
But-
definitely get that.
At the same time, I don't want it to be, oh hey, look at this person, they only came in here to boost their views. Cause like, why? There was a while where I almost did that. Like I wanted to just go in and do that on like every social media platform that there was, just post it there just because I wanted to boost my own views. I've sort of stopped caring about views now.
Mhm.
Like, of course I want to make the best content and that I'll get the most views. But like my goal isn't just to do that. And so I just sort of started using TFCOLLABS more to collaborate with people.
Yeah,
Just
that's
start a
exactly what
conversation.
we wanted.
Yeah.
But also, like, in old days, like, before, like, Discord, and, like, joining these different channels and, like, promoting yourself there, there was Reddit. And
Yeah.
oh, way was it hard to do something. I still don't, like, get Reddit. Like, when I go there from time to time to check out, like, some news or something, I'm, like, greeted with this wall of text. And I feel like I'm in school again, and I don't want to read so much. Just show me a video or everything that is in here.
Yeah.
See,
And that's the evolution of it. Discord has become, everything's become so specific. Like Discord, you can make a server for something as specific as collaborations, but only about Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
see, I don't like the Reddit. I don't like Reddit or promoting on Reddit, because when you promote and people watch your videos, it's kind of like drinking out of a cup that only has bubbles in it. Like, you're gonna get something, but it's not gonna be that much. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be mostly empty stuff that you're trying to get in from Reddit, and you won't get that much attention, because a good friend of mine has promoted on Reddit multiple times, and he's not gotten that much attention. And if he has, they've been really weird people. From my personal experience, they've been really weird.
Like those actors from Elsa vs. Spider-Man. Like,
Okay.
Oh man.
and coming back, like, to TF2, like, I myself haven't played it, like, much in quite a while, because, like, I'm more or less like an old style gamer, and I prefer to play with people. And now, like, the Pyro update, like, brought, like, Jungle Inferno update, like, brought in a lot of, like, new people, and I really like it. But still, like, many of my friends who play TF2 aren't playing it anymore, because, like, they got bored of it, or, like, they don't have like, more time for gaming. That's why I try to go, like, to different channels, like Discord channels, to, like, find people to play with. And I will ask you a question: should we wait for Smithmas update this year?
Should we wait? All I want is that Smithmas bag. You know, that, like, bag of goodies that you get every Smithmas? Yeah, I want that. That's all I care about. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Because for me, like, Halloween and Smithmas are two updates which are like Scream Fortress and Smithmas, like, which must be there. And, like, that's why I said, because and, like, we got the Scream Fortress update, like, more or less, but, like, for Smithmas update I will be even, like, okay with them just enabling, like, the old stuff which was, like, in previous Smithmases, and, like, not even adding anything else. But if they were to add, like, new crates, if you have been through the workshop, like, there are a lot of good, like, Christmas, like, New Year style war paints, and if they, like, just add like, bunch of them into this crate, it will be, like, set. Like, very little work for them, and, like, very much joy for us. But so, like, in, like, recent years, like, the Smithmas came around, like, 22nd, 23rd of December, so, like, in the future couple of days. So maybe until, like, this podcast goes live, the Smithmas will be here, so we are just speaking nonsense in here, but still. Also, by the way,
it's still important that I got my goodie bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's for the goodie bag.
That's the important part.
Getting my name tag. That's it. That's all I need.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those...
I just gotta name the stuff.
Oh, by the way, about, like, the streams that will be happening by the, like, initiation of TFCOLLABS by Oris and Kasper for, like, Save the Children. Like, maybe just promote it a little bit and, like, tell what's going to happen, more or less.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, Dae, you should take this.
Yeah. All right. So basically, a few months ago, we've wanted to do an event for so long since we wanted. It was when TFCOLLABS was stagnating in people, but now it's really coming into fruition now. And what we want to do is we want to do a charity event. We're not expecting that much money, but we do expect to get something. It's for Save the Children. Yeah.
And every penny counts.
Yeah, every penny counts, of course, and it will be. All right. So how it'll work? It'll be split into 4 teams. My team, Team Lupus, Jaeger, and Yampai, and there'll be 5 players on each team, and we'll be fighting in. We'll be fighting each other. So it'll be Lupus and Jaeger in arena mode, and then me and Yampai in arena mode. Then the winners will go to payload, and the losers will go to King of the Hill, and we'll do a podcast at the end.
That sounds nice.
Yes, it
Yeah.
sounds really good.
If you do need any help, just ask.
Oh,
I've run streams
Mhm.
like back in my day.
Yeah, we might need a little bit of help, because you know how people are. They're gonna be in an event and they're gonna say, oh well, I can't go because blah blah blah, and they go, and you need replacements. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. So
I'm all in for that.
mhm.
Yeah, I
Or
really,
running it. Or my friend Suckle is really good at just reading the stream chat off to the people who are already playing.
Mhm. yeah.
That's what we would do. He would do that, and I'd just.
also, Dae, I really get you because like I am a bit of like event manager, and so I have created like and organized like a lot of events, and like usually like 70% of the people you invite like tell you like yes I will come, and like only like 50% of like those 70 will come, and like around like 30% will stay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if you invite like 100 people, like maybe like 20 will be there at the end, and like maybe like even 18, because like those 2 like rang you like 15 minutes before and said like, oh, I'm not coming anymore.
Yeah.
And I had like a really bad time because of that, because of like some speakers I invited. It was like one speaker in particular, like it was already time for his speech, and like I called him like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm not coming. Like, what? Like, why didn't you like tell it in once or something? Like, but like, it was okay because like I went up on stage and like conducted the like presentation myself. It was like more or less okay because I knew the subject. But if I didn't know, or like my teammates didn't know, like then like what do I do? It's like people are
Just
waiting
kinda
for
screwed.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
The event is going to be happening from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. GMT, and I think that's 1 to 4 EST. You can put that in any other time, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I think I'm not sure if we cancel this or it's not happening, but I think there'll be a halftime show where there'll be a halftime show where we write a song and we perform it. The 4 main people.
Oh boy.
You know, like,
Oh.
yeah. So that'll be fun.
Have you guys considered doing video segments?
Video segments?
Like just playing the video on stream? Although I don't know if you guys would have a good enough computer for it, because like mine couldn't handle it. I tried it.
I don't believe we're doing something like that.
Because through OBS, what you can do is you can just literally like play a pre-made video.
Yeah.
So that'd be an interesting like halftime thing. I'm just throwing ideas out there though.
That would be interesting, but we were thinking we want to do it live. Like we'd find a song.
Live is extra chaotic and exciting.
Yeah. We'd want to do it live. We'd say, hey, either we find a song or whoever finds a song. We find a song, quickly pull up the lyrics, change up the lyrics, and then sing it right there before the other 2 rounds begin.
That would be quite fun.
I hope it'll work. If this is coming out after the 22nd, then it should have been okay. It would have been okay.
It should have been okay.
That's my opinion. It should have been okay.
Okay, I will try
It
my
should've
best to upload it like before that. It was like my internet is like
Yeah.
very potato. Like my upload speeds are like what
Yeah, that.
0.2 megabits per second.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good.
So like I really want to stream because like I really enjoy like this like kind of streaming community and like streaming thing because like you are more upfront with your community like, because like you see them their comments live and like you can interact with them. But like even now, like the last podcast which I had with Lupus, it took me around like what 20-ish hours to upload it. Like
Yeah, that's tough.
like from 0% to 100, but like in between, like after about 8 to 10 hours of uploading, like my PC randomly decided to update.
Oh, I hate that so much.
Man.
Yeah, and like the whole like process like failed the upload thing, and like I had to upload it like from zero again. I was like, oh damn, like why?
I've had that happen, but only with smaller videos that only take like 10 minutes to upload, so...
Yeah, that's okay. Also, like because like
Yeah.
my internet is like this potato, during this time or like when I upload videos, like I cannot do anything. Like videos are buffer like on YouTube videos are buffering and at 1440p. Like
Yeah.
and like don't even think about playing an online game. Like
Yeah, I had 500 ping when I was doing something else on my internet.
yeah. Like I already like the ping that I'm playing like is like from around like 90 to like 100, and like it's very fun because like I got used to playing on such a ping. Yeah, I got frustrated when like someone kills me around the corner because on his internet he already was around the corner and on mine he didn't even come out and like I just died.
Yeah.
I kind of got used to that, but like recently I played at my friend's place at like he had ping of like 20. I couldn't hit a single hit because I
Yeah,
got
and
used
once
to
you
this
get used
delay.
to it.
Yeah, and, like it was like a good experience. With also like going back to like net neutrality, like in my country, like there are no kind of laws about internet and stuff. Like you can do whatever you want, and
Yeah.
and like especially like at my place, it's like all part of the city, and like there is only one ISP in this area, and like only like DSL cables, like these old phone lines, and that's because like it's all part of cities. They do not try to bring it like the optic cables because they might damage some stuff, and like that's why I'm sitting with like this internet.
Yeah. It's tough because like in America, we were lucky enough to at least have net neutrality and good internet, but now...
Also, if I remember correctly, like it was
Well, it's
like
not
in
gone yet.
2002, 2003, there was like this agreement between like the government and ISPs in America that they will bring like optic cables to like everywhere, to like every household, to like 2007.
Yeah.
I don't think they managed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of it being quote unquote over, it's not over yet. If you have any senators you need to call, talking to any Americans, any senators you want to call, research them, their numbers, and be intelligent when you talk to them. Don't be dumb like, I don't want to lose my internet. No,
I don't want to lose my porn.
Be intelligent when you talk to them. Sound like you know what you're doing, and
Like don't be a keyboard warrior. Like prepare yourself, like all of your arguments and like all of your points.
Be smart.
Yeah,
for once.
just explain yourself and be reasonable because honestly, like it just takes a few reasonable people to change like someone's mind.
I've heard one person's opinion on this, and I think it applies pretty well. And it's that some people are just one call away, one sentence away from being completely convinced. Like I'm gonna stop this from being repealed. So
And also
There's a lot of things that's partisan, like one party supports it, one party doesn't. But with this, like, granted, it was all the Republicans in the FCC who voted against net neutrality, but that might just be because ISPs decided to pay those specific people.
And like Ajit Pai was
lobby
working
them.
for Verizon before coming to FCC. So
Yeah.
Also, in polls that were done about net neutrality, it doesn't matter what party you're in. It was all a majority for keeping it, even if you were a Republican. It was a majority.
it was like people
Just
understand.
for the average citizen.
Also, like, that
Yeah.
controversy about like around 2 to 3 million like fake messages and like comments and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's sort of why we have to do this even more for net neutrality and keep going out there and talking to people and spreading the word, because the ISPs are trying to make it look like people are spreading the word for the other side. And we just need to make sure that everyone knows that that's completely false, because they can like pay people basically to lobby and try to convince these Congress people otherwise.
Yeah, and
We have to
also
fight
like
that.
for people outside of America, they might think like, oh, it doesn't concern us, like whatever. But like, because America is like this huge power, some of the countries are
Yeah.
like monkey see, monkey do. Like if America
Especially
like,
the UK,
does
yeah.
this, like then like
If-
that country will
yeah.
do that the same. And, like that's why like you should also be aware and like spread the word, like and like that
Yeah.
like, your thoughts and prayers towards net neutrality.
Because if one company thinks they can get away with it, and they're somewhere not in America, then they're gonna start trying it, and then everyone else will, and it'll just keep getting worse.
And that's why it's just as important to get educated about this and just know what people are talking about. If you're in a country that has neutrality for their internet,
Or something
You just
similar
need-
to that.
or something similar, yes, you should just be educated about this, so that if any future event rises where people want to restrict your access to the internet, you'll know, and you'll know how to act.
And you'll be like, oh hell no, you ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Plus, if this goes away, it will indirectly affect you by the people that you talk to, and
And
All
by
that.
like Americans,
Yeah.
businesses in other countries that want to start up, there's a lot of Americans that you're gonna want to get to with your business,
Yeah,
but you're not gonna want to have to pay the ISPs in order to do that.
Also because like a lot of servers are like in America. If like the internet gets like the neutrality gets abolished in America, it will also affect like the whole world. Because like the internet providers will like throttle like the access for like even other countries from like America. Because like still
Yeah,
goes from that
'cause-
server somewhere out, like through an ISP or something.
Yeah, because it's all like America, China. They're some of the bigger countries, and if one decides to do something, then everyone else will probably follow suit.
Okay, let's wrap around here. So before like
Alright.
completely going out, like maybe you have some advices for like our viewers, like
Have
how
some
to
finishing words.
yeah.
All right. Dae, do you want to start us with this?
advice for Americans.
For Americans, for just people like maybe about like neutrality or like YouTube stuff, like if they want to start or like grow a little bit.
So, when you want to do when you want to make a change, you yourself are very small. Unless if you have political power or economic power, you're very small. So, my best advice is get educated about whatever you're talking about, and be reasonable, so that when events arise such as this, you'll know what to do. Like in this case, call your senators and treat them respectfully as you tell them why you want net neutrality to stay, and learn from this experience for any other event where you need to be educated and ready for an attack on your freedoms. Or
And I think, yeah, one thing just to take away from this whole podcast would be that net neutrality it's all encompassing. The internet is all encompassing, because we've talked about so many different things, but it's all sort of always looped back around to this idea And so it's something that's so important that you need to follow all of Dae's advice and really pay attention.
Yeah, because like really, internet is essential nowadays. Like for maybe like 100 years ago, like coal was like as essential, or like just like basic food. Like, and now like internet, like we get all of our news from there. Like we communicate with friends from around the world. Because like before internet, like you either like called someone like only you knew, or like you found some random like this phone book somewhere and you just start calling random people, like maybe to make some friends from somewhere. And even then, like you might find like some people in your local area and not abroad. And, like I'm very happy because like I have like friends or acquaintances from maybe every more or less country from around the world, like minus Korea, North thingy, which they were very close off. So like we need internet and we need it being free from suppression.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, heroes. The links for our discords and the channels for these two beautiful people will be in the description. Please join them and leave your comment down below if you want to see someone else, and maybe you have some questions toward these people. Yeah. See you again, heroes.